Hi, welcome to Shelly Studio. Today I am doing a little watercolor with my Neocolor 2 watercolor crayons. Thought I would give it another try. I tried it recently well, the video came out recently. I filmed it back in February, and this one I think I did shortly after that. I'm attempting to do multiples of these just to get a feel for the Neocolor 2s and see if I can create something I'm happy with. This one, if you saw the other one, this one was also kind of a struggle. I think I only resort to something other than the Neocolor 2s when I get down to the buds and the blossoms and things, but we'll find out because, like I said, this was recorded back in February. So I created this back in February. I know there's a little ink on there, and I'm sure there's some of the Copic white paint on there to get the white blossoms. Or it could have been a pen. We'll find out. Anyway, so I did a little sketch of some blossoms. I don't know, they could be cherry blossoms. This is taken from a reference photo. I do not have the photo anymore. And I don't know if I had permission to share it anyway, so I don't have that, and it doesn't match it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I mean, there are it generally does, but yeah, definitely not photorealism. Anyways, I'm just coloring down. I'm doing a blue sky, so a blue background, and just picking some shades of blue out of my Neocolor 2's set. If you watched the other one, you know I mentioned I've had this set for a really, really long time. Hardly ever use it. Most of my pens are full intact with no paper torn off. Or not pens, but crayons. So yeah, haven't gone through them very much at all. And I really want to get more practiced at using them. So I thought, why not create, like, do a series, like, keep trying, basically. There's a Facebook group. It's used to be a secret group. I don't know if it still is, but there's a secret group out there. And they do a photo every week. And I've been a member of it for a few years, and I've never, not once have I completed 52 pieces in the year. I can do the 100-day project, but that's my own sort of thing. Like, I pick something, I figure out how it's going to be easy to repeat it, replicate it, and do it every day. This is different. They give you a photo, they want you to make a painting of it every week. And because I'm not doing straight acrylics, because they, that's what they promote mostly is acrylic painting, I always have to come up with something interesting way to do it. And so this year it's Neocolor 2s. Because I wanted to use them. I thought it would be a fun way to give me some practice. And yeah. that's what I'm going with. Now, this time, I kind of want to get rid of the crayon marks on there. I know my last video, I got a commenter suggested using the smoother side of the watercolor paper. I will try that on the next one. This one was recorded before, like I'd created this before that video posted, so I didn't have the chance to do that. But I will try that on the next one to see if the smoother side of the watercolor paper will show less crayon mark and maybe less blooming as well. But I think the blooming has more to do with how much water I have on my brush and the fact that I'm trying to dissolve all that crayon. Yeah, I think that's more my control. But I am going to try the smooth side, see if that does help me do what I want to do. Now, I can't remember if this picture had the bokeh effect. That's those white areas. Or if those were blossoms in the distance, you know, that were just kind of fuzzed out. I'm not exactly sure because I don't have them attached to anything and nothing that looks like stems or trees in the background. Just this one branch coming across. So those could be the bokeh effect, which is, I'm not sure exactly how to explain that, but it's like a visual effect with lights that are diffused in the distance behind objects. If that helps. I don't know. So, also, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. It was a good day today. Today's a Saturday. It was nice weather in the 70s. We did more yard work. Did yard work last weekend and yard work this weekend. And we have a lot of yard. But I pruned more roses. I know it's late to be pruning roses, but they needed it. I hope they survived my pruning. And then we have a water spigot that comes from pressurized irrigation from the city to water the garden and all this stuff. And it had a leak all last year. And I don't want to be paying for water to leak out all summer long. So I've dug that up, uncovered the piping and stuff, and hopefully they haven't turned the water on yet, so I can't like check where the leak is, but I don't see anything loose or broken. So hopefully we can figure out where the leak is coming from and get that fixed. My sister and I, we are the property owners and get to do all the yard work on our own. Lots of fun. So that's kind of exhausting. Last week was worse. We did a lot of pruning. I pruned back our raspberries, and my sister tried to get rid of all the weed trees in the backyard. I'm not sure. I think we're not on Greenbelt anymore, but maybe it's a quarter of an acre. I don't know. It used to be like my dad lived on a farm growing up, and it was their farm, and it got divided up among the brothers, and there were 3 brothers. Well, what remained of it, like they sold off some for the school, so the school bears our name, Shelley Elementary School. And a lot of it was sold off, and then the last portion was divided up among the 3 brothers. And I think it was on Greenbelt, so that it would have to have been over a half an acre. I think that's what they have to be, or more than that. I can't remember for Greenbelt. That saved them on property taxes. But then the brothers, divided it up, and so we've got a portion of that. I know you don't need to know all that information, but that's something to talk about, right? Anyways, it's a big space to be dealing with. And we get weed trees, like trees blowing in, and they grow like weeds in the back half, which is where the garden is. And they were taken over. So she went and chopped almost all of those down last week. So I offered to do the raspberries, which had gone crazy. We have a ditch that divides the grass. So we have a grass yard, and then we have a double ditch, and then we have fruit trees on both sides of the ditch, and then the garden in the back half. And the raspberries had filled up like the whole ditch area. And I'm not sure which variety of raspberries, but I'm hoping they take pruning fine because they were just going crazy. So my blue is rather splotchy, don't you think? I think so. And I'm trying to keep the little white circles light. So I'm wetting them with a wet brush and then just dabbing them with a paper towel to lift some of the color off. I've never tested the Neocolor 2s for their staining. Like certain colors are more staining than others. Like some of them you can lift almost to white, but some will leave a permanent stain. And I think that blue one would never go back to white. Like I don't think you can lift it completely. I think it's staining. These things are leaves on our little blossom tree. Oh, out there today we are getting blossoms. Our one peach tree that's on its last legs, the top of the canopy is like covered in blooms. It's so pretty. It's pink, but there's hardly any leaves. And this tree is almost dead. Like it looks like it's dead. But the top of it, it's going to give us at least one more year of peaches. And my sister's like, we've got to figure out what variety these are because we need to plant another one. This is my favorite peach tree. And it makes big, juicy peaches. We have another peach tree that's doing just fine. It is more of a canning peach tree, and its fruit is harder and not as juicy and sweet. Like it's not one you want to just take off the tree and eat. So I guess we have to find a new peach tree to plant. We've lost a couple of peach trees, and then this one's going. But we have 5 varieties of 5 different apple trees, and we have 2 regular plum trees and an elephant heart plum tree, and then a volunteer plum tree, which has green plums on it. And then we have a pear tree and a Russian pear tree. I think that's it for the trees. And then I was supposed to propagate our grapes this year, and I didn't get it done before it stopped being cold. So I don't know. I'll have to look up how to propagate. We've got, I think they're called champagne. They're sort of a pinkish colored grape. And then we have Concord. Concords are so good. And then our neighbor has some green grapes that are growing onto our side of the fence. So kids enjoy those. They just go out and eat them. You know, whenever they're over, they just go out there and pick a huge bunch of grapes off and eat them, because those ones are seedless green grapes, and they are really good. They have really good grapes. So yeah, I was supposed to propagate those this year. Anybody know much about grapes? I really don't. They just grow by themselves. I don't do much to them. Of course, only one of those is on our side of the fence, one of the fences. The 3 brothers agreed to do grapes all along. So there's grapes all along 2 sides of our property, because one side fence side borders with one brother and the other one borders with the other brother. All the brothers have passed away now, so the houses aren't owned by the same people. So I think that's kind of why my sister wanted me to propagate them, so that we have the grapes that we can say are ours. I don't know, how long does it take them to really take and take off? Anyway, our newest neighbor that moved in to where the Concords are and the green grapes are, he was really excited. Like, that was half the reason he bought the house, was for the grapes in the backyard. So we don't have any worry about him taking them out, but they're also his, so, you know, we can't. I mean, before they moved in, nobody was using them. I was reaching over the fence and getting grapes off of both sides. I can't do that now. I have to let him have his grapes. Anyway, fun stuff. So I added another layer of color and just trying to use a little bit wider brush. This brush has had acrylic paint on it as well as watercolor, so it's not as, it's been abused, let's put it that way. But I was thinking that would cover more ground than my little round brush to get it all wet, but now I've got to lift those circles back out. I did notice, I took the picture for the end just today before I started doing the voiceover. I did notice there's a lot of crayon mark on this one. Like, I don't think I worried as much about removing the crayon look from the painting as I did on the first one. That was my goal on the first one. Which is a daisy with a yellow background. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it in the description box below. I am still working on my 100-day project, so I'm not sure when this one will come up. So I know the next video I post is going to be my 100 days, because I have that footage done. I don't know if any of you are watching those videos. I don't know. I do the 100 days. I have fun. I like doing them. But even last year's, which I think turned out really cool. I mean, if I do say so myself, they just don't get as much viewing. And this year, it's gel print landscapes, and they're really not getting any viewing. But I'm still doing them. I don't care. I started this YouTube channel on a whim, just for the heck of it. I mean, I got excited when it grew, subscribers. But really, what fascinates me is, you create something. Like, if you do art and you create something and you go back and look at it like a month later and you're like, how did I do that? Like, do you do that? Do you, like, look at stuff and can't figure out what exactly you did? I mean, you got the general idea, but you're like, what exactly did I do right here? And after starting to videotape me creating, it's actually really beneficial for myself. Like, and I don't have to share the videos, I guess. But I mean, because I'm not like this perfect artist or anything, but reminding myself, like going back and watching something and how I created something is actually very helpful for myself. I mean, I probably should take notes, but I'm not really a patient person. Like, there's some things I'm patient in, and there's other things where, like, I did that, it's done. I don't want to go and belabor the point of it. But then I go in and I'm like, come back and I'm like, okay, what colors did I use? What materials did I use? Like, what? And I don't remember because I didn't write them down. And I can't tell you which Neocolor 2s I used. I mean, I didn't write them down. I'm not a very patient person. I just want to go and go. And, you know, you get in a rhythm and you get concentrated and you get just focused on what you're doing. And to every time you pick up a color or a pen or whatever, to stop and write down what it is before you move on, kind of breaks the flow. So that's why a lot of times I don't have the colors listed. I will link my Amazon affiliate link for the Neocolor 2s if you're interested in them. They do have smaller sets. I tried to find the set that's this size so you see the equivalent. But they do have a smaller set, which I do own. I got that one first, and I used it in a class, I think in college. And I thought I would really love them, which I do kind of like them in smaller quantities. So that's why I bought the bigger set. But yeah, they have an even bigger set than this one if you want to spend lots of money. But anyway, this is it. I added a little pen. I'm going to add a little bit of the white ink to really make those buds white so they'll stand out. What do you think? Do you like it? It does still have all the crayon marks. I didn't try to get rid of it or hide it. Let me know what you think. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Love to hear your comments. 22 Club, thank you for hanging out with me today. And I hope you have an awesome day.